6:03. Welcome. Good morning, everybody. It is May 4th. May the 4th be with you. It's a day that everybody who's a nerd celebrates. Let all the Comic-Con people take over the world today. You know what May 4th is, right, Super Dave?
Of course I do.
What is May 4th?
May the 4th be with you.
It's Star Wars Day.
Star Wars Day, yeah.
Star Wars Day. Are you a big Star Wars guy?
Yes, I'm huge Star Wars nerd.
Are you
And
really?
I'm proud to say it, too.
Really?
Yep.
How many times do you think you've seen Star Wars?
Oh, wow. 100.
Easy.
Yeah.
Me-
Either
me
watching
too.
it on TV at the theater or, DVDs. Or
Now I have Disney Plus, so I'll just watch.
Yeah, Disney Plus is everything.
Right. And then they have the one on YouTube, they have the mashup of the end of Rogue One into the beginning of the first Star Wars movie, A New Hope. Have you seen that?
I don't think I've seen that.
Oh, I gotta show it to you. It is the end of Rogue One where they steal the plans for the Death Star.
Right.
And they escape with it, and then it's Darth Vader catching that spy ship before they send off R2-D2 and C-3PO. Oh my God, we're nerds.
Oh, of
Oh
course.
my God, we're nerds.
We are.
It just hit me.
And
We are
I'm-
Sheldon Cooper, and
I have no problem being a Star Wars nerd. I'm not a big Star Trek. I'm okay with Star Trek, but Star Wars is my thing.
I
I remember going and seeing it when the very first one came out
right.
in 1977. I was 7 years old,
Oh,
and from the very beginning, I've still got all the cards. I've still have my action figures
do
somewhere.
you really?
Yeah, I have 15th anniversary movie poster from New Hope,
I had
signed by the artists. The guy,
Really?
the two brothers that did all the artwork. Yeah.
I am so mad. You know what my brother had?
What?
He had the original sequel movie poster.
From Jedi.
Yeah, remember what the original poster said,
Revenge of the Jedi.
and we had one,
That's big money.
and we don't have it anymore. I think my mom threw it out.
You wouldn't be able to put your kids through college, but you could probably pay for a semester or two.
I should call my brother today and just remind him of that.
That's cool.
Yeah, I should do that.
Was he working? Okay, we got to get going on this. I know, but was he working at a theater where he got it?
No,
Because-
we got it in a store somewhere.
Really?
Yeah.
Because if everybody doesn't know what the story was, Return of the Jedi was originally called Revenge of the Jedi. And they sent all the advanced movie posters out, and then George Lucas said, "No, Jedi's don't take revenge on anybody." So it's Return of the Jedi, and it recalled all those posters, but some of them are still out there.
Rigney and I, my son, went to Comic-Con one year, and we're standing there and we're looking at all these nerds walking around, like, look at all these cosplaying nerds. Look at that nerd. Look at this nerd. Look at that nerd. We went to the real Comic-Con in San Diego, and he and I are standing in line. We're talking about something, and we go down the rabbit hole in this full lengthy conversation, like we're apt to do. And at one point, he looks at me, he goes, "Yeah," and he goes, "We're nerds."
Yep.
Deja vu all over
You
again.
fell into it.
I fell into it. All right, we're going to talk about that today. Here, may the 4th be with you on the unofficial Star Wars Day. But let's get started with Richmond's Morning News. Here's everything you need to know this morning. Again, if you don't start your day with Richmond's Morning News, basically you're behind everybody else. You're playing catch up all day. Don't fall behind. Make sure you get here from the beginning of the program. All right, story number 1. Iran sends a 15-point peace plan to the United States, saying, hey, we'll do this, we'll do that, and didn't get anywhere. The report from Fox News. Number 1.
President Trump describes Project Freedom as a humanitarian gesture. It begins this morning, an attempt to help some of the 2,000 ships and 20,000 seafarers who have been stranded since the start of Operation Epic Fury. But Iran's military says it will attack U.S. forces if they enter the Strait of Hormuz. More than 100 aircraft and 15,000 service members are supporting Project Freedom. Ships which have been unable to transit the strait are said to be running low on drinking water, food, and other supplies. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
So here's the latest. Iran sends over a 15-point peace plan to the United States that says we will open up the Strait of Hormuz will stay under Iranian control. You'll stop your blockade. You'll do everything, including giving us ice cream. The United States said, instead, We're going to do Operation Freedom, meaning there are a bunch of ships that are stuck that can't get through the Strait of Hormuz. Let me make it easy for you. Can't get through the Strait of Hormuz. They're just stuck. They're just sitting there in the middle of the water, and they're running out of food. They're running out of power. They're running out of everything. So the United States says, we can't just let this flotilla sit here forever. We're going to start escorting ships through the Strait of Hormuz. Extra firepower, extra personnel, extra Marines will be with those ships. Iran said, you do that, we're going to attack. The United States says, you do that, you're violating the ceasefire. So now it's a game of chicken. All of those ships cannot sit there. One of the jobs of the United States Navy is to make sure that we have the free flow of maritime trade. That's a big portion of what our U.S. Navy does, as well as power projection. They've shut it down along that. The United States says, nope, that's it, no more. You keep throwing out all these ridiculous ideas. You keep stalling and keep stalling. We're going to start the shipping back through the Strait of Hormuz, and don't you dare start it. And by the way, we're still not going to let anybody come into Iran to get oil, to deliver oil, to pick up oil, to take oil. Although the United States did return one ship back to Pakistan as a gesture of goodwill towards Iran to try to get them to move off this whole idea. Again, they want the United States to give them everything, and they're going to give nothing back as far as the nukes go. It's not going to get anywhere, so this should be an important week. We'll talk with Brent Sadler about this coming up for the Heritage Foundation on Richmond's Morning News. Story number 2, Spirit Airlines. Bye-bye.
Number 2.
Spirit Airlines just went bankrupt, right? I'm the guy that flew Spirit Airlines for 24 hours straight. There's more than 250 million individuals over the age of 18 in the United States. Now, if we took only 20% of them and paid basically the average fare of a Spirit Airlines flight, which is somewhere around $30 to $40, we could buy Spirit Airlines. This is a genius idea. We nationalize Spirit Airlines, owned by the people. Airlines going. We make a new airline. Let's buy it.
I don't know what that's called, nationalizing. Nationalizing is when the government takes over an airline. That's when people pick it up and it becomes a private entity once again. Anyway, I'm not sure how good of an idea that is.
I don't know what that guy was smoking, but I want some of it. He was just all over the place. And it doesn't, because, well, once we have it, it's just there. It's like, okay, we own a bunch of planes. Yeah, there's no air upkeep we need to do, that we need to put money into the company.
Yeah, we need to pay the pilots, flight attendants, people that work on the airline. It goes under. I got a lot to say about this because the airline industry is so fragile. I don't know how fragile it is. I don't think any of us understand how fragile it is. But Spirit, which served Richmond International Airport, is now gone. There was a merger between Spirit and JetBlue, blocked by the Biden Department of Justice, saying, no, if you move these two, we'll have less airlines, less opportunities, less competition. Well, you're right. Less competition out. The Spirit Airline is no more. We'll discuss that this morning on Richmond's Morning News. All right, number 3, the big anniversary. It was years ago that Rob O'Neill, the Navy SEAL that killed Osama bin Laden, took that shot.
Number 3.
I had a guy on the team that said, "Don't get me wrong, I'm going 100% going on the mission, but I have to say this out loud to hear it. If we know we're going to die, why are we going?" So we had a conversation, a bunch of us, and what we decided was the best way to put it into perspective is we're not going after bin Laden for fame. We're not going after bin Laden for money. We are going for the single mom who dropped her kids off at elementary school on a brilliant Tuesday morning. 45 minutes later, she jumped to her death out of a skyscraper because that was a better alternative than 2,500 degrees Fahrenheit. Instead, her last gesture of human decency was to hold her skirt to her knees so that no one could see her underwear as she killed herself. And we said, she wasn't supposed to do that. She's not supposed to be in the fight. We're supposed to be in the fight, and that's right.
It was 15 years ago that this happened as they're celebrating. I believe it was May 2nd, but we're back again. Bring that up. It was a remarkable time. Rob O'Neill, SEAL Team 6, goes in there and dispatches the man who attacked us. And I wanted to bring that up on the program today. All right, story number 3. Story number 4. Rudy Giuliani. A critical additional updates on that. And of course, today is Star Wars Day. Story number 5.
Number 5.
Pardon me for asking, but
What day is it?
Do you really not know?
I really don't. Here's a hint.
Here's a hint. Obi-Wan told you what happened to your father.
Say what? May 4th. It's May the 4th. Happy Star Wars Day. May the 4th. Enjoy Star Wars Day.
Oh, yeah, today is Star Wars Day. They dressed up like Yoda today, aren't you? That's a great sweatshirt. You look
That's
like
pretty
Yoda.
much every day for me. Is dress up as Yoda.
No, not. I just think because you're wearing a green sweatshirt.
I thought it was because I'm short. You're making short jokes
No,
now.
I'm not. Then you'll make fat jokes. I will not short-shame you because I don't want to be fat shit. If you could be any Star Wars character, which one do you identify with?
Oh, Han Solo.
Really?
Yeah, the scoundrel. Womanizer. or Lando Calrissian, intergalactic player.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All
There
right.
probably would be one of those guys.
The James Rivera text line, we'll just kind of lighten things a little bit this morning. 833-804-1140. 833-804-1140. Who is your favorite
A-plus
Star
roofing.
Wars character? Who is your favorite Star Wars character? 833-804-1140. Today's show is brought to you in part by A-plus roofing. So let me just remind everybody, inflation is hitting us, and it's going to hit us